Our fourth story out front, a violent sex offender slips across the border tonight. In Seattle, people are demanding answers after a repeated sex offender from Canada was allowed to enter the United States despite a warrant for his arrest, and then, according to authorities, sexually assaulted a boy. The 48-year-old, who is an American citizen, had his first court appearance today. Kyung La is out front.
Michael Sean Stanley was not supposed to be in the United States, but this week the convicted, violent, and repeat sex offender was arrested in Seattle, accused of assaulting a teenage boy in an alley.
Just sounded like someone was in pain, screaming.
Police say the teen brandished a knife and managed to run away before calling 911. I'll back up to a few weeks ago. Stanley was living in Alberta, Canada, with police monitoring his every move after serving jail time for the kidnapping of two boys from a schoolyard in Canada. On October 1st, Stanley cut off his electronic monitoring bracelet, prompting police to issue an alert, saying Stanley posed a significant risk and specifically told U.S. border agents he may be headed their way. According to the Seattle Times, less than a week later, Stanley entered the U.S. through the Blaine border crossing. Custom officials say they didn't stop him because he's a U.S. citizen. He showed proper ID and wasn't wanted in the U.S.
When somebody comes into the country and you know there's an outstanding warrant that's held by another country, but they're unwilling to extradite that individual, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection does not have the authority to arrest that individual, and that becomes a real significant law enforcement challenge.
Stanley made his way to Seattle, where police found him last week, made him register as a sex offender, but let him go after Canadian authorities chose not to extradite him. Essentially a free man, Stanley himself publicly proclaimed his innocence.
I'm not out there committing crime. I'm not raping people. I'm not killing people. I'm not doing anybody wrong.
Until early Tuesday morning, when police say that Stanley lured the 16-year-old, gave him alcohol before assaulting him.
Going forward, we need to find ways to go ahead and tighten up some of these loopholes and see what we can do to make sure that the country's safer on some of these issues. But until that happens, these things, unfortunately, will occur.
It's just unbelievable, Kyung. I mean, I guess he's stating a fact, but it's impossible to accept. These things, unfortunately, will occur. But, you know, as I mentioned, Michael Sean Stanley had his first court appearance today. What happened?
Well, he made his first appearance. It was an arraignment. And, Erin, it wasn't connected to the assault charges of that 16-year-old boy. It was on the harassment charges for verbally threatening a neighbor in the alleyway, this alleyway where all this allegedly occurred. He pled not guilty on that. And he argued, his attorney argued for his release, the judge essentially saying no way, setting bail at $100,000. The prosecutor is actively pursuing charges on that alleged assault of the boy. Erin.
Lots of questions we need answers to. Thank you, Kyung. And still to come, the White House mole unmasked, how a government official was able to anonymously criticize the administration from inside for 2 years without the NSA or anyone else finding him. Plus a mystery captivating the entire world, what we have just learned about the Greek mystery girl tonight. And a runner gets the surprise of his life. We're going to play the entire video for you. It's tonight's shout out.